I'm just tying pieces together all by myself, and it's like Carl Anthony Payne II was on something called The Cosby Show when I was growing up, which I didn't realize at the time. They made reference, he named himself Cockroach. So you mean 1980s knew there was a problem, and I'm sitting in 2021 and it's only gotten worse. Alright, so that's a problem. I then have a more recent sports book where there's a very cockroach looking man who's calling himself Caesar in all the sports arena with some social media app, and he's talks to a white man in the crowd named Carl. I've made reference to it. It was an advertisement on the stolen airtime and airspace on network and broadcasting channel in the state of New York in this 20th century problem. Just walking, doing my nightly thing, and my angel valet is what I call him because his name is Angel, and he wears a shirt that says valet that I say buonasera to every night, every evening. I stay Italian since he's Spraccia something else. He's, and he told me, I said, where'd you work before this? He worked at Fino, which is the French bistro. I go, what? I go, how are you working at the French bistro? You're Spanish. He goes, I go, parlez-vous français? And he was like, no. He says, I said, you don't even speak French and you're working at the French. What is going on with this place? I mean, nothing makes sense in this area. I'm like, all right. I mean, Lazy Cow, I got no idea what that is. But French Bistro has the word French in the name and a French flag outside, you would think, which I'm not even sure if they're allowed to fly a French flag, but this is a crazy town. Anyhow, so, let's think about this. So then I'm finishing my walk and I'm just in my whatever zone because the lights are bothering me and I get halos around the light. Oh, no, hold on a second. The valet says to me, he's like, you feeling okay? And I go, feeling okay. I was like, yeah, why? And he's like, breathing okay? And I go, no, actually, I'm not breathing okay. I was like, I got too much weight around the middle, and when I bend over to tie my shoes, my breathing's off. I was like, but I got rhythmic problems on my pulse, my distal pulse, but again, not non-essential. I was like, why are you asking? He's like, no cough, though? I go, cough? No. I was like, I know what it's whatever pressure related. I was like, buonasera, and I walked off. I'm not taking medical advice from anything human. Anything ozone with a hole in it, being human category. I'm not taking medical advice, and they're not writing medical papers. We're sitting on laurels. Alright, so that happened. Then I'm walking back towards the house, and the guy who said he worked at NYPD Secret Service, which I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing, but looks very Carl Cockroach Payne #2, like, whatever. He's all dressed up in a cream color suit going to the Christmas party. And I'm like, where's your Christmas party? He goes, Bourbon Street. He says, the Academy's at the Bourbon Street. I go, the Academy, huh? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, So he walked off, and I walked back home. And then I'm thinking, oh, and then Lou tells me yesterday that there's some problem with the tenant upstairs. He's not paying rent on time. He's playing games with the days and being on time or late. And then they have money, but they're not paying anyway. Like, real weird. I bumped elbows with a man who goes back and forth to Florida in the neighborhood too. He said in Florida he's having trouble with tenancy issues as well. I don't know. So, and that's the guy who says he's Real Madrid, but I don't know what that means. Then I've got, so I don't know what the man upstairs paying the rent late means in perhaps spiritual effigy of problematic children around the world and descending upon whatever. Then I've got, I spoke to this woman, Anna, at the park today. She's somebody I haven't seen in a while. She's a mom, and she has a nice son. He was in the elementary school, but he went to the middle school. So I spoke to her today, and I said that this year, it's like, I don't know, there's like a changeover with residency and what's attending the school. It's whatever. So, I mentioned to her, I asked if she had seen Fear Factor with Joe Rogan, whatever. I said, I really feel like my son's just locked in this box and I can't get him out. I was like, and she even said, she's like, no, she says, as a mother, she says, I understand that. As an understanding of a philosophy. So I appreciated that. And then I said, I just don't know where to go. I was like, I'm thinking NYPD, but then they've got some, I was like, when I look at it from a distance, at all these like little pieces I've collected just recently, I was like, it's really scary, it's really painting a very scary picture. I was like, on a local level, there's no mayor in the village, but I've discovered just this week there's some foreign heraldry that's calling itself a senator here inside Bayside, inside New York City. That's a problem, especially considering the monetary system is under attack in circulation in the same area. Then I was like, then they're saying on the news now that this guy, Eric Adams, is mayor-elect. I was like, I don't know how that happened. Some secret election service. I mean, how did he even get nominated? I was like, I didn't know that he was getting nominated. He just arrives on a ticket and now it's like pick one of two. And so, and I was like, she's like, I don't know how that they get on. And she's like, these are all really good questions. And I was like, thanks. I was like, I appreciate that. I was like, I get that. I was like, but, I mean, it's really scary when I start adding up all these really great questions and then realize that I have nobody to ask them to. I was like, when I saw the coin change out of nowhere with this Adams election, and I was like, and then I called Washington and I realized I need a private line to Joe Biden. He's a family, like he's a relative of heraldry at least, of one of the real presidents of this section. I was like, but the vice president's office is not. And I've got current circulating currency problems. And I've got people falsely impersonating senators in the town that I live in. Now, if they're gaining intelligence, because there's a lot of residents that match whatever his heraldry area might be territorial elsewhere, If he's gathering all of this intelligence, that's got to be a Homeland Security issue. That he's getting this, that puts him in a power play. And then if you bring in, like, the corporate part of it, I mean, like, this has just gone on too far. And I don't know how or to whom to address. And so I was, I said to the woman, I said, there's other places in the world that have their leaders on the money. And I mean, I'm pretty sure if somebody wanted to go in there and start some new system, they'd shut it down right away. I don't understand how in this area, all of this growth has taken hold and caused a major breakdown, and that nobody seems to be addressing this. So she's like, no, she says, she says, it's she's like, when it's laid out like that, because how does a senator get elected? I mean, like, is it an elected? Is it an appointed? I mean, did this man just pick himself? Is there, I mean, and then there's NYPD, is what I thought was a police department, is that's what they say that they are, but they're a mixed bag of political affiliations of I have no idea. And then, like, they're armed, which is really scary. I mean, like, I want to trust them, but how? And then it's like everywhere I go, there's some kind of mixed agenda, mixed populace, mixed everything. How do I get my monetary system fixed and secured, and my children proper education and future, like, employment? Like, how do I do that now? And how do I get myself some kind of employment where I'm contributing to the actual presidency, so this way it secures the main security feature? I mean, like, all of these, and I don't, like, again, even I haven't asked the mom, I said, I mean, like, are you aware, like, where I should be? I mean, maybe, I mean, I sit quietly in my room by myself. I was like, and I try to just close my eyes and think if maybe I missed something in my checklist of what I've learned or what I've heard of. Because some of the things I've heard of, that the television has brought up, when I go into public society to look for it, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, or it doesn't function in the way that the ideal television producers said that it did. So it's like this really funny, fickle, imaginary system I'm trying to traverse with some truth built into it, but it's very difficult. And I'm just like, I'm so backwards and lost. I don't know. I don't know where to go for help. And so the woman was like, no, she says, and I said, and it used to be on the news media when I was little. I said, they did a flashback of, like, the 1980s. The 1980s, it was like all some form of heraldry or familial newscast. The anchors, the weatherman, the special reporters, they all had some, what I would call, monetary or fiduciary responsibility. I mean, profiled on the coin, they have some vested interest in supporting and making sure that Treasury stays afloat and stays current and strong in this area. But yet, I can't like, now I turn the TV on, I see one in the morning. I was like, it's flipped completely the other way. I don't understand again how that is even possible, because it conflicts with the need to stabilize and sustain. And then it's like, and then I go into the environmental and atmospheric conditions. I mean, because I'm not the same blood group or blood type as it's a different whatever. I mean, that gets thrown in there because one's cosmic egg related and importance in a totally unspoken of surface area elsewhere. And then that, my safety and, I mean, is put completely in harm's way, but it's been this way for 43 years, and I don't know how to get out from underneath all of this. I mean, it's just even reporting. So I said to her, I was like, back in like the day, they would say go to like maybe a news media or something, or a reporter, or reported in that way. I wouldn't even, every reporter I see on the television news, I mean, like, they don't even look familial at all. I mean, I've been watching the newscast, and it's turned into something that I don't know how they get away with this. I don't. Um, star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cataruza. But local mom, she sees whatever. I mean, in the, like, where do you go? I was like, so I'm not like a socialite. Like, I stayed home. I did my real estate task, and then I went home to my kids. I was like, I wasn't out, whatever. Um, I was like, and it's really confusing because I don't have like this backbone network to rely on whatsoever. There was not like long bonded, lasting relationships whatsoever. Um, so I was like, so this gets really confusing. And even like the moms at the park, not my cup of tea. Just not. So I mean, like, I'll brush in, like, every hi, how are you, just to be polite and friendly, but not sharing of myself or whatever. Not really. Um, so it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, Broken. And the last piece that I said to the mom was, I was like, um, it eludes me at the moment. I'm just going to leave it there.